Hello my dear students, how are you all? Good morning. Now we will discuss about excuse me, electronegativity values, which are very important to understand chemical bonding, actually chemical bonding chapter. So electronegativity values, if you know, you can understand nature of a chemical bond by using the electronegativity difference between two atoms. Two atoms will combine and form a chemical bond. What kind of chemical bond that is, we can say, if you know the difference in electronegativity. So for that we have electronegativity, one trick we have. Okay, what is that trick? Everybody knows. So how many times you will say, sir? Means just I am revising. Okay, so just hydrogen is a 2.1 we have take, and helium is 0. Electronegativity of all noble gases is 0. So these noble gases are, we know, told you many times, these are Khazar. So they won't have any chemical reactivity for all these helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. These all have electronegativity values 0. And hydrogen is a reference atom. So hydrogen electronegativity is very important. Hydrogen is 2.1. Okay. Next is the most important. You have to take, it's 1. Okay. So next, from top to bottom, you just write down this one. From top to bottom, electronegativity starts with 1, decrease by 0.1. Electronegativity decrease by how much? Decrease by 0.1. Okay, that is very important for us. So electronegativity starts with 1 and decrease by 0.1 in this particular group. Alkali metals you have to remember first. So hydrogen 2.1 electronegativity, that is reference atom, and lithium is 1. So here you have sodium, and sodium is 0.9, therefore so it's 0.8 and it's 0.7 and it's 0.6. Okay, now left to right you have to write electronegativity values. So left to right, what happened now? Electronegativity increases, but how many? Increase by 0.5. Like this you have to remember first. Understanding? So first I written top to bottom in alkali metals, because you know now this is 1A group elements, and this beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, these are actually 2A group elements. Everybody knows that. Okay, so here beryllium, so it's 1. So it's what is the beryllium electronegativity? Therefore lithium is 1, so beryllium is 1.5, increased by 0.5. So this is 2. 2 is the electronegativity value for boron, so it's 2.5, and it's 3, 3.5 and 4. Our hero is fluorine, the most electronegative atom. Okay, most attractive atom. What? Electron attractive is a fluorine. Okay, noble gases no need to consider. For all those, electronegativity is 0. Okay, now till here, phosphorus. How to remember? For phosphorus, like hydrogen electronegativity will have 2.12 something. Hydrogen and phosphorus almost same electronegativity, but remember, bottom elements always somewhat they have more electronegativity actually. Okay, so that is very important. Okay, so here if you see sodium 0.9, now we have to write like this, from left to right in this way. Electronegativity increase by 0.3. Electronegativity increase by how much? 0. So 0.9, so it's 1.2, it's 1.5, it's 1.8, 1.8 and 2.1 actually. See, hydrogen 2.1 and phosphorus 2.1. So almost same, but it's 2.12 something. When two elements have similar electronegativity values, bottom element have somewhat more electronegativity. Remember that one. And after this, here to here, till this phosphorus, you increase the electronegativity by 0.3. But from here to here 0.4 you increase. From here to here 0.5 we have to increase. So 2.1 plus 0.4, so 2.5. 2.5 plus 0.5, 3. So now no need to get confused. Nitrogen, sir, it's 3. Chlorine, sir, 3. Then who is more electronegative? bottom element, because left to right size is decreasing. Okay, then and both are not same group, nitrogen and chlorine. Sir, top to bottom decrease, increase no sir size, it should be less electronegative. So it's next period element actually. So we cannot compare. So how to remember nitrogen and chlorine? If you see, chlorine has somewhat more electronegative atom. Chlorine is somewhat more electronegative atom than nitrogen. Nitrogen is 3 and chlorine is some 3.02 something like that. Okay, like that here also. Carbon 2.5 and sulfur 2.5. Sulfur is somewhat more. Suppose example I will write example like CH2. So here carbon is positive plus 4 and the sulfur is minus 2 actually. 2 sulfurs. Understanding everyone? So actually carbon what you are taking 2.5. Sulfur electronegativity how much you are taking 2.5. But sulfur has more electronegativity slightly. Okay, so CH2 is of course it's non-polar but slight charges exist. Okay, so in CH2 sulfur is 2.5 and carbon is 2.5. Like that you are having. See, nitrogen like that. Now remaining what are here? Here also you have to decrease 0.1. In first group how you decrease the electronegativity 0.1. Here also same. So it's 1.2. So it's 1.1. Got it everyone? You have to remember electronegativity values like this. First we have to remember 1A group. Starting hydrogen 2.1, that is a reference atom. Hydrogen starts with 1. Electronegativity top to bottom. What happens means, what happens? Decreasing by 0.1. So 1, 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, 0.6 like that. So it's 1.5. So in that way, don't here to here sir decrease by 0.1 no. So next after this, next write down this second period and third period. Second period increase by 0.5 and third period increase by 0.3 but up to phosphorus. But phosphorus to sulfur 0.4 is the difference, sulfur to chlorine 0.5 is the difference. Like that you have to take. So it's 1.1 calcium. Come to this second group, second A group. Okay, it's 1.0, it's 0.9 like that. You have to take. But in P block, as going down, in P block, in what block? P block. P block means what sir? From boron family to these noble gases are P block actually. This boron family to these all noble gases are called P block actually. Okay, now electronegativity in P block, electronegativity decrease by 0.3. Decrease by 0.3. So here fluorine 4, chlorine 3. So it's bromine how much you can guess now? Bromine. So bromine electronegativity how much? It's some 2.7. So it's 2.4 like that electronegativity. Okay. So don't compare these two, but remaining atoms I am saying. First, don't feel bored. First group you have to consider electronegativity. Afterwards second period and afterwards third period. Remaining you can write normally. Okay, these are about electronegativity values. Please have a screenshot and write down. Okay, understanding everyone? Suppose if why it is useful, pH3 suppose example. Who have a negative charge, who have positive charge, you can say by using these electronegativity values. Similar way, suppose if you have some CH4, who is having positive charge and who is having negative charge, you can say. That much important, these electronegativity values. Not only this, electronegativity values, if you know, you can have many things like dipole moment, you can say, acidic character, you can say. Okay, all those things you can say, sir. Important. So here, if you see this boron electronegativity is 2. I think boron, where it is, yeah, 2.0 and hydrogen is 2.1. Certainly, who is having positive charge and who is having negative charge? Who is having negative charge? Hydrogen negative here. Hydrogen negative, boron plus positive charge. So you have right, boron 3 plus and 3 hydrogens minus, like this you have right. But carbon electronegativity is 2.5 and hydrogen is 2.1. So hydrogen is less electronegative. So hydrogen has positive charge here. Carbon has -4 here. So of course negative charge simply. So carbon is having -4 and 4 hydrogens plus 1 here. Here hydrogen is -1. Difference you are understanding? We can separate charges like this. So very much useful. By using these electronegativities, you can say who is more acidic, who is less acidic, and who is having more dipole moment. All those things we can understand. And by knowing the electronegativity difference between two atoms, between those two atoms, what kind of chemical bond is possible, we can say. So these all are very important. Please have a look and write down. Screenshot you take, please. Okay. So next is by using these electronegativity values, how we can say a nature of a chemical bond, that we will say. Okay, sir. Very very important. So please have a look. Electronegativity difference between two atoms. Electronegativity difference between two atoms if greater than, okay, greater than 1.7 like that, we will call that ionic. Okay, we call that ionic. Electronegativity difference between two atoms, if you have greater than 1.7, then the bond is called ionic. What bond that is called? Ionic bond. If electronegativity difference between two atoms is from 1.7 to almost 0.6, 0.6 like that, then the nature of bond is polar covalent. What bond that is called? Polar covalent. Okay. What is polar covalent? You know already, but me also will explain later. Electronegativity difference between two atoms is now it's greater than 1.7. Now less than 0.6. Less than 0.6. Okay. Then the bond is called non-polar covalent bond. Non-polar covalent bond. So we are in chemical bonding only. Okay, so these all are important to understand what is the nature of chemical bond. Suppose NaCl, I will take one example. HCl, I will take another example, and I'll take some CH4, I'll take here example. So what is the difference here? If you see this sodium electronegativity, as I said, is 0.9 and chlorine is 3. Hydrogen 2.1 and chlorine is 3. Correct. So here carbon is, okay, carbon electronegativity, as I said, 2.5 and hydrogen is 2.1. If you see the electronegativity difference, if you see, it's 2.1. How much? 2.1. Here electronegativity difference is 0.9. Correct? And here electronegativity difference is 0.4. So from this you can say this NaCl have what nature? Ionic bond. So between Na and Cl. And here HCl is, you can say, polar. And this you can say non-polar. Both are covalent only. This is called polar covalent and this is non-polar covalent. Like this we will write. What is the difference between polar and non-polar covalent? Here sharing takes place, here also sharing takes place. Ionic means complete transfer of electron from this metal to non-metal, that is ionic, everybody knows. Here from hydrogen to chlorine, no complete transformation, or chlorine to hydrogen, no transformation of electron. But even chlorine is more electronegative than hydrogen. Slightly the displacement of electrons happens towards chlorine more. Why? Chlorine is more electronegative. Certainly unequal sharing takes place between hydrogen and chlorine. So certainly chlorine has delta minus and hydrogen has delta plus. So if bond unequally sharing by two atoms, then that is called polar covalent. Polar means charges. Okay, two poles, dipoles. Di means two. One is a positive pole and one is negative pole. But here carbon and hydrogen have four bonds like this, and all four are equally sharing almost, because electronegativity difference is less, 0.4. Okay, so very important, electronegativity difference is less here, so there is no charge separation here. So carbon and hydrogen sharing this bond equally, here this bond, between these two this bond, between these two this bond, they are sharing equally. Okay, and one more important electronegativity, if you know one more important thing, you can say electronegativity is more than acidic nature is more. Very, very important. Electronegativity is more then acidic nature will be more. Electronegativity is less, then acidic nature will be less. Okay, important. By using electronegativity, you can say acidic character. Okay, so very, very important. So as I said, suppose now you are just consider this HNO3. You consider Mr. Sulfuric acid. Okay, you consider Mr. HClO4. If you see all these three, see definitely nitrogen electronegativity is 3. So here sulfur is 2.5 and chlorine, so it's how much? 3. So nitrogen and chlorine, however, chlorine has more. So who is having more acidic character means this. If you see instead of this, it's same, no? So of course among these two, if you compare these two, this HClO4 is more acidic because slightly more electronegative I told or not. Central atom I am telling. Electronegativity of whom? Electronegativity of central atom. Electronegativity of central atom. So suppose if you take like H3PO4 like this. Among these three, so here if you see phosphorus, it's 2.1. So this is the order of acidic nature. It's very easy. So if you know the electronegativity of central atom, this is a simple way to say acidic nature. Of course, I told you in previous also in our regular classes. By knowing the central atom oxidation state also we will say. Oxidation state is more, then acidic nature is more. That is also important. How to identify? I told you, maybe you forgot or not, I don't know. SO2, if central atom is same, who is more electronegativity we cannot compare. Then we will consider oxidation states. Here sulfur is a +4, here sulfur is a +6. So SO3 is more acidic. Like that. Suppose here HClO4 and HClO3. Who is more acidic means this, because here chlorine is +7, here chlorine is +5, like that. So electronegativity you can say, and oxidation state also you can use to say who is more acidic. Understand? Simple. Like N2O4, N2O5. Who is more acidic? N2O5. Because nitrogen oxidation state is more. So by using oxidation state you can say when the central atom is same. If central atoms are different, you will compare just electronegativity values. So this is also important. So we are in chemical bonding, so related to periodic table. See how interesting it is. Electronegativity concept is in periodic table, but we are learning nature of chemical bond, which is present in chemical bonding chapter. So both are important. So electronegativity of central atom increases, then acidic nature increases. All these are very, very important. Please have a screenshot and write down later, or pause the video and write down. Next, we will enter into of course electronegativity scales, everything you have to remember, sir. Okay, Mulliken scale, Pauling scale, like IB plus EA by 2, and afterwards Pauling scale values and Mulliken scale values. If you see the 2.8 times greater, so we will take electronegativity means IP plus EA by electronic affinity by 5.6 we will take. like this. Okay, so these all formulas I was given in previous, please have a look. And acidic character and basic character, very simple. Top to bottom basic character increases in period, in group, sorry, and left to right left to right, of course, electronegativity increases, and acidic character increases from left to right in period. So any compounds if you see from top to bottom, then basic character increases. Any compounds if you see from left to right in period, that acidic nature increases, and left to right basic nature decreases. These all things you have to remember. So next in chemical bonding. So that about ionic bond everybody knows. So in ionic bond, the mostly you have to know some Fazan's rules. Everybody knows those. Okay, cation size is big and anion size is small, then ionic bond. But if reverse, its cation size is small, anion size is large, then covalent bond like that. So those are the things you have to remember. And one more thing, as positive charge or negative charge increases, then what happen? Covalent nature increases. These are the important points. Okay, and as I said, cation is big, anion is small, then what nature? Ionic bond. One more thing, cation or anion with inert gas configuration has more ionic nature than cation with what? Pseudo inert gas configuration. So ionic nature, if you see, cation with inert gas configuration has more ionic nature. I'll tell you, calcium chloride and zinc chloride. Who is more ionic? If anybody asks you, you have to say calcium chloride is more ionic. Like that you have to say. Understood? I think so. So calcium chloride is more ionic than ZnCl2. Okay? So very important. Understanding, sir, everyone? So so these are what Fazan's rules, and we have to understand. One more thing, and if positive charge increases, negative charge increases, then one more, that is polarizing power increases. What is polarizing power? They will ask you, which of the following has more polarizing power? I will give you example for polarizing power. Okay, suppose here if you see aluminum nitride, Aln. So here aluminum plus 3 and nitrogen minus 3. So positive charge is more. Suppose if you have some magnesium oxide like that, Mg2 plus O minus 2. So as I mentioned in previous, who is more ionic? Who is, see, positive charge increases, negative charge increases, covalent nature increases. So covalent nature is more like this. And one more thing, this Aln has more polarizing power. What is the polarizing power? Sharing nature. So between aluminum and nitrogen, sharing nature increases. So this positive charge of aluminum will attract the negative charge of nitrogen. See, even aluminum donated 3 electrons to nitrogen, but after donation also, this aluminum has some slight attraction towards the negative charge of this nitrogen. See, this is a red color marker is one person. This black color marker is another person. This red color person actually given chocolate to this black color person. But still this red marker, this fellow has attract towards that chocolate. Given chocolate by this person only, taken by this person only, but this person have some attraction towards that chocolate, that is called polarizing power. So sharing nature is there. That's why covalent nature is more, when the polarizing power is more. Very important. So they'll ask you polarizing power questions like this. Suppose NaCl and MgO and AlN like this. Who is having more covalent or who is having more polarizing power? Pp. Who is having more polarizing power means Ln, as the positive charge is more than polarizing power more. Okay, so this is about the polarizing power. About what? Polarizing power. You have to write as cation size. Sorry. As charge, positive charge or negative charge is more, then covalent nature increases and polarizing power increases. Polarizing power to whom? Cation. Polarizability for anion. Difference. Polarizing power for whom? Cation. Okay, because who is attracting? Who donated? They are attracting. Who is making attraction? Who? That anion. Polarizability for anion. Polarizing power for cation. Write down in your notes. Very, very important. Next, formal charge. How to calculate formal charge? This number of valency electrons, simply valency electrons minus number of lone pair of electrons, lone pairs not, lone pair of electrons, and minus half into bond pair of electrons, lone pair of electrons. This you have to take as what? Formal charge. So overall formal charge of a molecule will be 0. Formal charges exist for individual atoms. The whole formal charge of a neutral molecule will be 0. Suppose NH3, what is the total formal charge means 0. Maybe nitrogen has different formal charge, hydrogen has different formal charge. But overall formal charge of ammonia is 0. What is the formal charge of this? What is this? 2. Oh my god. 2. What is the total formal charge in CO3 minus 2 means minus 2. What is the charge here you have? Minus 2. That is the total formal charge. But individually carbon have different formal charge, oxygen have a different formal charge. So formal charge concept I was explained in first year very clearly. Okay, so you please go through that. And still if you have doubts, ask me. I am there to explain. And NH4 plus, if you see, overall formal charge of this ammonium is what? Means total formal charge in this NH4 plus means is a plus 1. But nitrogen has, as I said, nitrogen has different formal charge and hydrogen has different formal charge. And if you see like ozone like that, O double bond O and single bond O. See, remember one thing, oxygen when it have octet you have to fill this during this Lewis dot structure. Due to time I cannot explain those Lewis dot structure, and please practice those. You have to give octet for every atom, and central atom will be less electronegative atom. But here all three are oxygens in ozone, O3, ozone. Okay. So actually for writing a particular Lewis dot structure, you have to select less electronegative atom as the central atom. Skeleton structure you have to write. Suppose in NH3, hydrogen and fluorine can never be central atom. So nitrogen is the central atom because hydrogen can form only one bond always. So hydrogen and fluorine can never be central atom because fluorine is the highest electronegative atom. So fluorine can never be central atom. Remember that one. So NH3 means this is like the skeleton structure. Now 3 bonds. So totally you have to give octet. So 3 bonds means 6 electrons. So you have to write one more pair like this. So simply those kind of examples definitely they'll ask, and formal charge to write, structure is important. So now octet I have to give. Remember, double bonded oxygen have 2 pairs. Single bonded oxygen have 3 pairs. Oxygen, fixed. When oxygen has 3 bonds, sir, oxygen oxidation state and valence is 2, no sir, because generally valence means 8 minus group number 2, but oxygen, remember, maximum it can form 3 bonds. Nitrogen valence is 3, but nitrogen covalence is 4. Nitrogen can form 4 bonds maximum. Understanding everyone? So when that is having covalency, one dative bond is pakka. These are two covalent bonds and this dative bond like that. So now this oxygen, if you see 2 bonds are there, octet means 2 more pairs, lone pairs. This oxygen has 3 bonds, so 1 lone pair. This oxygen has 1 bond, that means 3 pairs like this. Okay, so very important. And what is the formal charge of oxygen? If you take, this is the first oxygen, and this is the second oxygen, and this is third oxygen. What is the formal charge of first oxygen? Valence electrons of oxygen is 6. Valence electrons of oxygen 6. Number of lone pair of electrons 2. Pairs, not pair of electrons. Lone pair of electrons. 1 pair means 2 electrons. Minus half into bond pair. This oxygen have 3 bonds. 1 bond means 2 electrons. 1 bond means 2 electrons. Everybody knows 1 bond means 2 electrons. Here how many bonds are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 bonds. So 6 electrons. Half into 6. So what is the formal charge? 6 minus 2 and minus 3. So total this oxygen formal charge is plus 1. Okay, like that. What is the formal charge of oxygen 2? Oxygen 2, if you see this one, oxygen 2. Valence electrons, oxygen 6, because oxygen 6A group. 6 lone pair of electrons. Lone pair of electrons, not lone pairs. Lone pairs means 3. Don't do mistake. 1, 2, 3. 3 pairs. No, 3 pairs means 6 electrons. Lone pair of electrons. Minus half into bond pair. So minus half into 2. Because 1 bond means 2 electrons. So ding ding cancel. So it's minus 1. So formal charge of this second oxygen is minus 1. Now what is the formal charge of oxygen 3? Okay. Formal charge of oxygen 3, if you see, formal charge of third oxygen, 6 electrons minus, see this you have, 2 pairs means 4 electrons, and 2 bond pairs means half into 4. 2 bonds no, for this oxygen, 2 bond pairs, so 4 electrons. So 6 minus 4 minus half into 4. So what you are having? 6 minus 4, 6 minus 4, 6 minus 4 and minus 2. 0 you are having. So for this oxygen, formal charge is 0. For this oxygen, formal charge is plus 1. For this oxygen, formal charge is minus 1. See, overall total formal charge, how much you got? Plus 1, minus 1. 0. So O3 formal charge is 0. Like this you can take. Okay, this is about formal charge. Okay. So in covalent molecules, we will have formal charge and all like this. And one more, next, to understand structure, valency, VSEPR theory, valency shell electron pair repulsion theory we have to understand. So hybridization concept also that only, and based on number of electron pairs, what is the geometry and what is the its structure, you can understand. Okay, so geometry and its a shape, both are different actually. Okay, so that depends on number of lone pairs. Okay, so to have that, I have to explain that hybridization concept. Have a look and have a screenshot. Okay, or pause the video and write on. Now we will go through that actually. So everybody knows that I was given one particular shapes and geometries based on number of electron pairs. While listening this class, okay, you just keep that chemical bonding, VSEPR theory or hybridization, one flow chart I was given. So there you have number of electron pairs are 2. Okay, geometry is linear. Okay, bond pairs are 2. And examples I was given like CO2, BeCl2. Then the hybridization is sp, like that I was given. Okay, for example, I'll give you like this. total number of electron pairs are 4. There are different ways I was given, like 3 ways I was given, like this. Okay, so all 4 bond pairs and lone pairs 0. Then what is the geometry? Geometry is tetrahedral. And what is the shape? Shape is also tetrahedral. Like this I was given. 3 and 1. Total electron pairs are 4. 3 bond pairs, 1 lone pair. Then tetrahedral geometry. Tetrahedral geometry. Geometry will never change. Okay? Always geometry will be fixed. Geometry depends on number of total electron pairs. Total electron pairs means what? Both bond pairs plus lone pairs, like this. So 4, 3 and 1. Total 4 electron pairs, 3 plus 1, tetrahedral. But shape will be pyramidal, like this. Okay. Next, 2 and 2. 2 and 2. Now, geometry will never change. When geometry will change? When the electron pairs will change, then geometry will change. See, in all 3 cases, total electron pairs are 4, 4 plus 0, 3 plus 1, 2 plus 2. So, electron pairs are 4, so that geometry will never change, but shape will change. Here shape is tetrahedral, here pyramidal, and here V shape or angular. And one more important thing you have to remember, as as the lone pairs increases, then bond angle decreases due to lone pair repulsions are greater than lone pair bond pair repulsions are greater than bond pair repulsions. So here lone pairs are more, so repulsions are more. Tetrahedral means actually 109 degrees 28 minutes, but here 107 degrees, here 104 degrees, something 0.5 like that. So what happened? As lone pairs increased, then bond angle decreased. So here also you have to remember, in this kind, when total electron pairs are 4, then the hybridization is sp3. There I was given percentage of S character like that, because very important. S means only 1 is there. Total orbitals are 4, 1 by 4 into 100. So percentage of S character is 25%. So what is the percentage of P? It's 3 P orbitals are there. So 3 by 5 into 100. So it's 75%. Why I said percentage of S character? Percentage of S character increases, then bond angle increases. Remember, bond length decreases. Remember, acidic character increases. This all are very important. As percentage of S character increases, bond angle increases. One more thing increases. When percentage of S increases, bond order also increases. Acidic character increases. I'll tell you example, carbon example, CH3 single bond CH3, CH2 double bond CH2, CH triple bond CH. Everybody knows this carbon hybridization is sp3. Carbon when have all 4 sigma bonds, then carbon hybridization is sp3. So here carbon is sp2, here carbon is sp. Sp means percentage of S is 50. You just see the percentage of S character. 1 S, 1 P. So 1 by 2. Total orbitals are 2. 1 S and 1 P. So 1 by 2 into 100. So 50%. Here 1 by 3 into 100. Because total orbitals are 3 and 1 S is there. So 1 by 3 into 100. Hope you understand. So here I told you already sp3 means what is the percentage of S character. So now you can say anything else like what is the order of acidic character? Is this one, because percentage of S character is more in acetylene, so that has more acidic nature. That's it. And even bond length is less. Bond length will decrease. Bond angle is more. sp3 109, sp2 120, sp 180 degrees. So as percentage of S character increases, bond angle increases, bond order increases, acidic nature increases, but bond length decreases because number of bonds increases. Because if the number of bonds increases, they are becoming more close. Certainly, bond length, what happens, decreases. So these all are very important. Not only this, due to lack of time, I'm giving like this. Even number of electron pairs are 5. What are the shapes and what are the geometries? So shape depends on lone pair, but the geometry depends on total number of electron pairs. Geometry for certain electron pairs will never change, but shape will change, and shape will distorted if the lone pairs present. If lone pairs are present, shape will change but not geometry. If lone pairs are present, bond angle decreases. So these all important things we have to remember. Please, everyone. So hope you written all this. This is a very important concept for us. So these are useful, sir. These all will come in CET exam, NEET exam, JEE or whatever. They will give compounds like this. Which of the following is more acidic? Which has more bond angle? That depends on percentage of S character. If you know the hybridization, you can say. If you know the hybridization, you can say percentage of S character. If you know the percentage of S character, you can say any one of these. So all are very important. This also. So bond order in MO theory we will have. Don't worry. For that also I was given one shortcut. Please have a look. Now, what is the simple way to get hybridization? We have to see. Okay? Written 4 electron pairs and all these things. Okay? This simple way to remember you have to write. Okay? How to have hybridization in easy manner. Hybridization you can have in easy manner by using one simple formula. What is the hybridization? Hybridization, if you get 2, then hybridization is sp. Hybridization you are getting 3, then it is sp2. Hybridization you are getting 4, then that is sp3. Hybridization value, if you get 5, then that is sp3p. Hybridization value, if you are getting 6, then that is sp3d2. If it is 7, you are getting sp3d3. These are hybridization is nothing but total number of EPs, electron pairs. Electron pairs are 2 sp, electron pairs are 3 sp2, electron pairs are 4 sp3, like that. Then how to have this H value means we have one formula, that is V plus M minus C plus A by 2. This is hybridization formula. What is V? That valency electrons of central atom. Valence electrons of what? Central atom. And what is M? M means number of monovalent atoms. Monovalent means what is the meaning? Single bonded atoms. Can you give examples to identify monovalent? Hydrogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, OH, OR, SH. These groups or these particular halogens and hydrogen are monovalent. Seriously, continuously I am talking. So M is number of monovalent atoms, and where C is charge on cation. Charge on cation. Okay, my dear boys and girls, you have to listen all these things and you have to remember, because based on hybridization, you will get one question. Not only that, hybridization is very important for remaining all chapters. Okay, So next, what is Mr. A? A means that charge on anion. So what I taken here? B, number of valence electrons. So why you taken central atom? Because hybridization exhibited by central atom only. Who exhibiting hybridization? Central atom. That is very very important. So one more important, this instead of along with this you need one more formula, because to understand the shape and bond angle you must know number of lone pairs. So how to get number of lone pairs? Number of lone pairs is equals to hybridization. By using this formula you will get H value. That H we will substitute H minus number of terminal atoms. Terminal means any, like not only monovalent, bivalent, divalent, unnecessary, blindly. How many terminal atoms are there? How many atoms surrounded to central atom? Those all we have to substitute here. Then you will get number of lone pairs. So how to identify central atom? This I told you already. How to identify central atom? Central atom is less electronegative atom, except hydrogen and fluorine. Hydrogen and fluorine will never have hybridization. Remember this one. So hybridization you will get from valence electrons and monovalent atoms and charge on cation and charge on anion. Remember, this charge on cation and charge on anion, that depends on only charge on cation and charge on anion will depends on only when they given cationic species or anionic species. Otherwise C will be 0, A will be 0 for neutral molecules like CO2, SO2, CH4, for like this, anything like NH3, PH3, whatever if they given, for all these things their C is 0 and A will be 0. Then when you will take this C and A means C we will take charge on cation, then NH4 plus like this if they give an example, then only you will take in hybridization. Nitrogen is 5 because 50 A group nitrogen, hydrogens are 4, plus charge is there, so minus 1. When positive charge is there you have to take minus, because positive charge how come? Due to loss of electron. Loss means you have to subtract or not, so divided by 2. So 5 plus 4 minus 1, 8 by 2. 8 by 2 means what? 4. 4 means what? sp2. Number of lone pairs how to have? Lone pairs. It's 5 minus 4. It's 1. Hybridization you got 4. Sorry. Lone pairs. 4 minus 4, 0. So no lone pairs. So it's tetrahedral. Like that you can see. But in like carbonate CO3 minus 2. Then cation charge will be 0, but anion charge minus 2 is there, but instead of A you have to take plus 2, not minus 2, remember. So in this way you can have hybridization and all. So in our next class MO theory, one shortcut you have just 5 minutes, and dipole moment in a simple way I'll explain. Okay, thank you very much. As I said, don't take it easily. Okay, maximum 200% we have to put our efforts, and pakka you will become a doctor or engineer, whatever you can fulfill your desire, but you have to work hard. All the best. Take care. Thank you.